Welcome, Gemini. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, and I pulled for you from the Glyph Oracle the card Feline Independence. And this pictures beautiful cats that are bringing to mind one of my deity, Bastet, the Egyptian goddess, the lion, female-headed, one of many female-headed lionesses. She represents solitary insight, wisdom, the ability to see through the dark, to uncover the mysteries. And it's interesting that, at least in ancient Egypt, the feline, the cat, even the lioness, was seen as able to bind together into a team to approach prey. Strategic insight and action is also one of her beautiful traits, as well as the connection to deity. There's a strong hint here of not only fertility, but sexual magnetism that may be relevant to some of you as a way of teasing out the truth of a situation, seeing through the facade or the various veils or layers of manipulation or mask. Your overall energy for this reading is the Knight of Wands, which is describing your desire to continue an exploration of a plan to discover various ways that you can update your experience in formulating an action plan and the ways that it can implement the possibilities for not only the present but the future. You're open to that discovery, you're inspired, you're energetic about moving towards solutions, new ideas, alternatives, but ways of implementing action. It feels like on behalf of a group, although there is strong solitary energy here so far. Underneath the deck, the Two of Actions is precisely about a plan that you're putting forward, a proposal that you're considering, and you're still weighing the options. You are leveraging your experience from the past into an openness to possibilities, how it will impact or update your future prospects. This is a general reading, Gemini, so it isn't going to resonate for all of you. If you're interested in a personal reading, information for that is in the description box below. Thank you for your time. I appreciate your presence here. And in the present, the Ten of Cups. This feels as though it is describing the community of your design, the environment that you are working in and working on behalf of. This is also about a community that you want to continue to foster, to pour those resources into, to ensure that there is safety and protection for all those who participate from a place of caring, inspiration, a willingness to listen, to advise as called upon. There's also a way that you're providing protection for others that participate because you respect the power of confidentiality and the wisdom of the lessons that you have learned. You exchange those freely in whatever environment this is in, and you value that highly, understanding that just as individuals within this group are being positively impacted by the trust that is shared among members, you are also, as a community, contributing to a greater appreciation of the value of a community based on shared resources. And that can be the actual living environment or working environment that you're a part of. this feels as though it is resonating with a higher, or I won't say higher. I don't want to imply superiority. This is at once about considering the needs of all members and considering that as a part of any action taken, but trusting and valuing that the needs of one another and the vulnerability that's required to share that, to expose that, and thus the kind of protection that each member who participates in this environment is deserving of and respects among fellow members. In the past, the Justice card, there's been a release from your personal past in terms of understanding that a debt of some kind of a karmic debt, or this can be a financial debt or a legal action, has been resolved, has been paid. So on the basis of your own greater understanding of what you have contributed, even when you were being told that your contribution was not adequate, was not important, was ignored, nevertheless, you come to a clarity about the power. You're always power. And as a result of that, you're now in a position to not only acknowledge your contribution, the lack of fairness, perhaps, that you received in the process, but also the ability to advocate for others in your position, thereby creating a sense of power uh, from a place of feeling victimized or ignored or oppressed. So this feels not only like a balancing of that energy, as a way in which you now understand and demand the fair treatment that you are deserving of, but that you also see the way in which you may have you may take responsibility for the ways in which you gave your power away. In the future, the Queen of Cups, what a lovely blending of this way in which you speak, you feel, you represent this environment or community that you're a part of. There's a part of you that has created an environment in which your gifts can emerge safely, uh, from which you can understand, accept your power, accept your gifts, and recognize your ability to keep growing in that way, to allow your gifts to fully emerge uh, as you are empowering yourself on an ongoing basis by respecting yourself, by respecting your dreams. And understanding that the respect that you give to the confidentiality and the uh, vulnerability of others, the strength and bravery with which you recognize how those resources and qualities are offered as part of the community, you also understand that your ability to accept those things within yourself empowers that increasingly. And it feels as though this is putting you on a path, you and a community, you and an environment or a team of collaborators on a path of continuing to explore the impact of this emotional healing or development or evolution. And there is still embedded in here the sense of independence that you hold, that almost no matter how you've been treated, no matter how insensitive others are, how clueless others may be about their own humility and or power, that is not an obstacle to you moving forward in being of full heart, being open to receiving love, being certainly clearly open to giving that. In the first house, or rather in the present, The Ten of Cups is clarified by the King of Air. This is lovely about your discernment, your ability to see the truth. I'm sensing this as resonating with the Feline Independence Oracle card. You are able to pierce the veil, to understand what is important in terms of the truth and principle. And this is about what you've learned about the justice you have been able to restore within your life, the balance that you've been able to restore within you that sees you as empowered, not as a victim, that sees you being able to intentionally exert control, your will over those things that you want to realize in your life, and to release, let go of those things that are not contributing to the resourceful team or community that you're a part of. And in the past, the Justice card is clarified by the Six of Fire. So here, where you have found balance within your own life's journey, with regard to your place in a community, in a family system, in a job, that has inspired you to commit to that community. This feels as though there's a balance between a kind of isolation that has perhaps been the result of some hurt, some damage, some exclusion you've experienced. Instead, now you're understanding no matter how one feels inside, committing to the team is a responsibility you can uphold. And that commitment is inclining you to do your part responsibly, to separate yourself from your feelings, not denying them, but instead to invest your energy into your responsibilities and obligations. And as a result of that, you have experienced some real victory. And I would say this is over a last considerable period. This is not a new practice. This is a practice that has been evolving over some time, depending on your age and your circumstances, to where you experience not only repeated successes, but a higher regard from people that you are in community with. And in the future, the Queen of Cups is clarified by the Seven of Fire. And this is beautiful because I see you balancing your independence with your commitment to the collective, to the team, to the collaboration, understanding that you're not responsible for every request made of you. You've learned to set clear boundaries as you focused on your empowerment, your gifts, what you're capable of, what you've learned to do and learned to do well, and the ability to continue to create space to protect your ability to exercise your gifts, to give of yourself as a result of your having given yourself the space to cultivate your truth, your justice, and the goals and visions that are empowering your visions very much of love, understanding that service is love. Service is the way you give love, and it's also the way that you receive it. I'm going to finish up this reading, Gemini, and it's popped out, an oracle card, Envy. I'm the same as everybody, but with different challenges. I do see this part of your healing journey as being a way in which you are pulling back, withdrawing from comparing yourself to others. And this has perhaps in the past put you in a place where the successes, the victory, the rewards have seemed to be given to others in your environment, never really feeling as though you're experiencing the rewards or the adequate rewards for your work. This is you now, as you've learned to balance those energies of uh, conforming, complying to the demands, the requests, the rules of others, to a place of understanding that the rules for you are set by you, the goals are set by you. You can contribute, or you can, by contributing, I mean you can be a part of setting those rules, those agendas, those goals, shaping that dream or that vision, or you can pull away. You can work along your own path. It's clear to me that in order to work collectively as part of a team, as part of a community or an organization, you've come to the place of a certain kind of humility, which means that others, although at times apparently receiving more reward than you, perhaps have had different challenges than you've had. And it's impossible to judge the development, the evolution, the status of others on the basis of your experience. So, this is a beautiful resolution. I hope you've enjoyed this reading. If you've enjoyed this content, please check out more here. And until next time, Gemini, namaste.